The comeback hit struck again last night. Arroyo and Verdugo were two of those Red Sox directly responsible for win number 39 as the Sox go for two in a row over Toronto on a Saturday afternoon. Hi, everybody. Dave O'Brien alongside the Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley. Jemai Webster joining us as well. And this time the Red Sox rallied from a 4-run deficit. This ball club has that sense of who cares what the score is.
That's sort of been the theme of the team so far this year. So many come from behind victories. And, you know, the last two nights we saw it from Christian Arroyo. 2 home runs, a 3-run shot 2 nights ago. And last night, a moonshot tied this game up 5-5 in the 8th. And in the 9th inning, a little walk-off piece here by Verdugo, a little wall ball base hit that scores Santana, and once again Red Sox overcome a 4-run deficit to win this game 6-5. And you look at the stats on this year and come from behind victories. 23 out of the 39 wins have come from behind. Last night 4-run deficit, but you know, recently the starting pitching has not been good. The last 7 games their ERA is close to 8, and they're still 5-2. This offense has come through, so they're holding their own during this tough streak of games. 17 games in 17 days.
Christian Arroyo, certainly one of the heroes last couple, and right there he is putting on a microphone. We have him mic'd up, so that should be very exciting today to listen in on Christian. Nick Pivetta would like to be 7-1 at about 7 o'clock tonight. Red Sox and Blue Jays, first pitch coming up from Fenway in just a moment. Is brought to you by Lexus and the Lexus Strikeout Hunger Program by Dunkin'. New England and Red Sox Nation runs on Dunkin'. Subaru of New England proudly celebrating 50 years of love. Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service, we're always here to get you there. And by the Mass State Lottery, helping our 351 communities right here in the state of winning. Sensational day in Boston. Red Sox go for 2 in a row against Toronto, hoping for a longer start out of Nick Pivetta. For more on that story, let's toss it to Jemai.
That is absolutely right, Dave. Nathan Eovaldi, Garrett Richards, Martin Perez, Eduardo Rodriguez, and Nick Pivetta have started 62 of the 64 games for the Red Sox to this point in the season. And for the bulk of the year, that crew has gotten the job done. But the Red Sox have recently hit a stretch where the bullpen has been taxed a little more than usual, which begs the question, is this a sustainable strategy? Alex Cora says this is just a storyline in a long major league season.
It's one of those stretches, and you know, there's not too many off days. You know, that Thursday is going to be gold for us in Kansas City. So we just got to grind. We got to grind. Like I said before, you know, what Work and Phillip did the first 2 games against Houston was huge. Just what Phillip did against that doubleheader against the White Sox. It was important to try to reset the bullpen. We were able to maneuver through that lineup yesterday after Garrett gave us 5 1/3. But yeah, I mean, it'll be good for Nick to go out there today and go 7, and we score a lot of runs, and we don't have to use our high leverage guys. But at the same time, if we got to use them and we're tired or we're up, we'll use them and try to win the ball game.
And Alex Cora saying that in order to breathe some life into the bullpen, that the team recalled Brandon Brennan from AAA Worcester as to be a fresh arm for them. Alex saying, we like his changeup. Hopefully, though, they're expecting to get a quality start from Nick Pivetta. In his previous 4 of 5 starts, prior to his last one on June the 7th, he worked 6 innings. They're hoping that he does that again. He's opposed by Steven Matz for the Toronto Blue Jays. First pitch with Dave O'Brien and Dennis Eckersley coming at you in short time.
Weekend, and we'll wrap up on Monday. Here's the Blue Jays lineup, taking on Nick Pivetta, Marcus Semien at the top, Bo Bichette followed by Vlad Guerrero Jr. with 19 home runs already. Teoscar Hernandez in left, Grichuk in center field, Rowdy Tellez the DH, Joe Panik's at third, Biggio in right field, and McGuire does the catching. Against the Red Sox, starting pitcher presented by Audi. Visit your New England Audi dealer. Experience the fully electric Audi e-tron today. That is Nick Pivetta at 6-1.
And here's the Red Sox defense presented by the Oakers Company, celebrating 100 years of service and support and proud home of Touchview Interactive. The Red Sox made 43 errors in 64 games around the infield, 3rd to 1st. Devers, Gonzalez, Arroyo, Bobby D at first. Out in the outfield, Alex Verdugo in left. Kike Hernandez in center, Hunter Renfroe, and right behind the plate, Christian Vazquez catching Nick Pivetta.
Umpires brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Vic Carapazzo on home plate. Visconti Ortiz Meals around the bases here. And we're available as telecasts can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP brought to you by Toyota Certified Used Vehicles. First pitch from Nick Pivetta on the way. Strike one as we get started.
So close to a W last time out. He couldn't get out of the 5th inning. Had a W waiting for him. Got the hook. 2 outs in the 5th.
Quickly 0-2.
That's what you've seen a lot of with Alex Cora. He's not waiting. You know, he's going to try to get out of the inning and win the ball game. Forget about a starting pitcher's win. But Nick's been solid all year.
0-2 to Semien, who's sitting .293, 13 home runs. Product of Cal Berkeley. In fact, his mom and dad also went to Cal Berkeley. As Eck can tell you, having spent a lot of time out there, really smart people go there.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
But this was a big sign for them. They gave him a 1-year deal for $18 million. I think it was a good deal. He's having a nice year so far for them.
2-2 on the way. That's the kind of family, the Semien family, you sit around the living room with them watching Jeopardy and they embarrass you because they know every answer.
But he's a sweet kid. I know this kid. I've been around him a few times.
2-2. Breaking ball, had his knees buckling a little bit.
You know, you get that high breaking ball call, then it's sitting there waiting for him. But this is just a little bit too high. A lot of 3-2 counts, a lot of 3-ball counts with Pivetta all year.
Line shot, that'll be caught by Devers. 1 man out. Semien with a liner to third. Time of the weather forecast. Pleasure to do it. Presented by Window World, the official replacement window of the Boston Red Sox. And here it is on this gorgeous day. It says partly cloudy. I'm going to say mostly sunny. 72 degrees. The crowd was just great, by the way, last night.
It really was. They got into it big time, and for good reason.
Up the middle, base hit right over second base. Bichette not waiting around, and he has a single.
And this club, here they go again. Last night they hit some rockets off of Richards. Gave up 11 hits, and I'm telling you what, all of them were torched. This is a line drive right back almost between his legs. Couldn't get his glove down.
So Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is first at bat of the day. He was wearing out the monster yesterday. 336, 19 homers, 50 runs batted in.
That 2-run shot put him up 5-1. Didn't hold up though.
3 for 4 with 2 RBIs in their loss last night. He has 10 3-hit games. Last night was his 10th. That's the most in the majors.
Bichette could run a little bit. 7 steals. Never been caught all year.
One man away. Runner is holding. Swinging a high fly ball, driven deep to left. That one way up there toward the monster seats, and it's out of the ballpark. Vlad Guerrero Jr. with his 20th, a 2-run blast. Just like that, 2-0 Toronto.
Man, this is almost ridiculous. First pitch fastball, and he loses it. Last night hit a 96-mile-an-hour fastball out of here, and this is pretty high. This is a high fastball too, and he gets to it easy. He just touches it off, and it's gone. Look at this cross seam, pretty much middle. Gets the barrel to it. Full extension. That ball's gone easy over everything. There's your MVP right here, right now, as we speak.
It'd get my vote, too. Some season, 52 runs batted in. And now 20 blasts. And here's Hernandez. Teoscar Hernandez, 294 with 8 home runs.
You wouldn't think you'd challenge him. Strike one right there with a fastball. The way this guy's been swinging it, wouldn't you twist your wrist, something bad, make him swing at something off the plate? I know that's hindsight, but my goodness, that's a cookie.
And he's the cookie monster.
Yes, he is the cookie monster. The Cookie Monster is dressed in blue, isn't he? The Cookie Monster? I think so.
Maybe.
My recollection of that.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Hernandez. He is 1 for 4 in his career against Nick Pivetta. Nick hasn't won in a couple of starts, but on May 20 he had no decision. That was when he was starting against Toronto. It was an 8-7 Red Sox win. Punched in the air, foul out of play. A terrific win for the Red Sox last night, down 5-1, and you've come to expect that the Red Sox are going to put up a heck of a fight when they are trailing at any point in the game. It happens on a routine basis. That doesn't happen for every ball club, but it's been a big part of the Red Sox personality, and they're trailing again.
Last night, Stripling, I thought he was going to cruise through 6 innings, and they extended that 6th inning. Renfroe got a base hit, RBI base hit. Vasquez got a base hit to right field, and then they brought in the relieving corps that, did him in, is what it did. Couldn't throw strikes. Chatwood. Red Sox took advantage of it.
Verdugo with the walk-off wall ball. Here's the 1-2 pitch. 94 miles an hour on the radar gun with that fastball. Randall Grichuk on deck. Not much of a breeze today. I'm noticing the ball is carrying more and more as we get warmer and warmer. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Waved at and missed. He struck him out with a curveball. And 2 down.
And he's had a good curveball, really. That's his 3rd pitch, but he's had it all year long. 12-6, good time for it. Hernandez goes fishing out of the glass, way out of the glass, but good pitch, good put-away pitch.
Sends up Randall Grichuk, having a fine year, 279 with 13 home runs. And he also had a 3-hit game last night, 3 for 5. They had a bunch of guys that had big offensive games, but the Sox won anyway. Tampa Bay with a 1-game lead over the Sox going into play today. And they are underway in their game against Baltimore. 2-0.
This guy loves to swing the bat. Only walked 10 times this year. Not striking out quite as much. Having a nice year for them.
2-0. Thought about it. Now 3-0. Pivetta last 5 starts, 39 strikeouts and only 9 walks.
He's a lot like Richards too. He has early trouble. Seems to get out of the way and get through it.
Looking in the inning. And a strike, 3-2. There are times he just wants to get it and throw it. And in that instance, he had to wait for Arroyo to get back to his defensive position. He wanted to go so fast. 3-2 on the way. Devers will scoop it. Rafael on target. Side retired, but Vlad Guerrero Jr. strikes again. It is 2-0 Toronto. Red Sox coming up. Here's the lineup. It's brought to you by Toyota's official website for deals. BuyAToyota.com. Kike Hernandez at the top. He's in center. Alex Verdugo in left. JD Martinez, the designated hitter, followed by Devers, Renfroe, Vasquez, Christian Arroyo at second base, Bobby Dahlbeck at first, and Marwin Gonzalez is at short. Another day off for Xander Bogaerts up against the left-hander Steven Matz. He's 6-3. ERA at 4.5. And only lasted 4.5 innings. Last time out, 6-3 loss to Houston, 4 1/3, 8 hits and 4 earned runs. And here's Kike to start it, and he looks at a strike.
Matt's having a decent season, 6 wins on the season. Last time out, Houston knocked him out a little bit. A couple home runs he gave up.
On the edge with a changeup.
95 sinker, little change up, curveball, hard slider too.
He has won just one time in his last 5 starts. Here's the 0-2. Working quickly. Kike 0 for 5 last night. That snapped a 4-game hitting streak for Hernandez. 1-2 from the lefty. He put him away. Foul tip to the mitt. Struck him out.
Let's take a look at the Blue Jays defense today. Around the infield, third to first, Joe Panik at third, Bichette at short, Semien at second, Guerrero Jr. at first. Out in the outfield, left to right, Hernandez in left, Bichette in center, Biggio in right, behind the plate, McGuire catching Steven Matz.
Well, last night, Alex Verdugo with a walk-off RBI. They called it a single off the monster, his 3rd career walk-off. He had 2 with the Dodgers in 2019 before the trade. Wound up with 3 hits in the game. Had a big night. 1 strike pitch. And bends in there with a curveball. 0-2.
Good fastball, early velocity. You see that curveball. He wasn't trying to throw it there, but he'll take it.
Line the other way, but foul. He loves to take aim at left field, doesn't he?
Wow, what a way to start that 0-2 pitch off the chalk. Would have been a beautiful thing. You know, everybody thought Matz was really going to have a special career when he was with the Mets, right? He was part of that great rotation that went to the World Series against Kansas City.
Right.
Never really turned out that way. They finally gave up on him last year.
Oh, 2 coming. In play to the right side and a routine ground ball. 2 up and 2 down. Well, Nesson and our colleague Jerry Remy have released a joint statement. Want to read that to you. Last night, during the 3rd inning of the Red Sox game against Toronto, broadcaster Jerry Remy experienced shortness of breath and stepped away from the broadcast as a precaution. He is resting comfortably at Mass General, feeling better. He is grateful for all of your support and well wishes. There is no update or timeline for when Jerry will return to the broadcast booth, but we are missing the Rem Dog today.
Yeah, we are missing the Rem Dog is right.
JD 311, 13 homers. He's driven in 41. Sox have gone 7-2 in the last 9 games. They've won 14 of the last 21. Remain 1 game behind Tampa Bay. Coming into play this afternoon. And it is 0-2.
With a hard cutter. That must be his slider. Sharp little break.
JD has seen him 6 times. He has 2 hits off him. Devers on deck. 2-0 Toronto. And off the mitt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another different start time tomorrow. Heck and I will be with you at 1 o'clock. And then the series concludes on Monday night at 7:10. And the Red Sox hit the road. Fairly long trip coming up.
Tough trip to me coming up. Atlanta. Then you go all the way to Kansas City, back to Tampa. Tampa, big series there.
3 games there at the Trop. Kansas City right now 2 games under 500. 2-2 on the way. And down he goes swinging. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Matz. Red Sox go in order. Our Red Sox starting pitching staff brought to you by PNC Bank, helping to make banking easier. Nick Pivetta, his American League rankings this season. Number 3 in winning percentage. Of course, he's 6-1. Strikeout season in the top 10. Victories tied for 6th coming into play.
Yeah, he's leading this staff in ERA, strikeouts, average against. He's having a nice year. You got to be thrilled with the way Nick Pivetta has pitched this year.
And deals a strike on Tellez. He's using that curveball early.
I love that curveball. That is a weapon for him. I think he should use it a little more often.
Tellez 213, 3 home runs. But against the Red Sox, you throw out whatever he's doing during the season because he has just been a Sox killer. Look at that, 29 games, 11 home runs. We've been trying to figure out what he has against the Red Sox. Some personal slight along the way.
A little bad luck last night. First time up, hit a missile, didn't he, for an out to Kike in center.
Yeah, I mean, for everything that Guerrero did in the game, he did a lot.
Yes.
He's done a lot today already, too. This guy hit the hardest ball of the night, I think.
He really did the first inning.
And it was caught. One-two pitch. Fouled back. I don't know, what was it? You think like Tito didn't sign an autograph for him or something? You know, when this guy was a little dude and he was like, I'm gonna get the Red Sox for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah.
By the way, that would be the last guy who wouldn't sign an autograph.
That's kind of what saves the Red Sox. They don't, you know, like whether it's Richards or whoever, they don't have that nuclear inning in the first inning, and they get through it. And he made it last night incredibly till the 6th inning.
Yeah, that was a first-rate Houdini act.
It really was. I mean, 11 hits and 5 1/3. They did him a favor a couple innings and swung had a 5-pitch inning. That's how he got there, really.
He did. But that's a lot of base runners.
Oh yeah.
And I know he's very aware of it. 2-2 pitch in there for strike 3. Pivetta with the slider to strike out Tellez.
Yeah, a little backdoor piece. Nicely done. Pair of shoes there for Tellez. Backdoor cutter, really. Short little slider.
Lexus making a pledge to strike out hunger. Every time a Sox pitcher strikes out an opponent, Lexus will donate $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. So obviously, you know, Garrett Richards is aware that he is scuffling. A lot of Red Sox starters are doing it at the same time and trying not to put so much pressure on the bullpen.
Well, you knew that was going to happen. It's inevitable they're going to go through a streak. The last 7 games, the starters have an ERA of 8. And it didn't start that well off today, the first inning. It continues. But they've won 5 out of the 7 games. So the whole offense has overcome a lot of this.
Well, you knew that would be the case as panic winds up and comes up empty, that this offensive club can bail out the pitching staff from time to time. They didn't have to do it that often for the first couple of months.
No, they've been solid. And I think that's probably one of the biggest surprises, how solid this rotation has been.
0-2 to Panic, popped up on the infield. Vasquez says he has it and drops it.
You know, that's when a pitcher should almost take that, because you think Devers is playing so far back, and Pivetta said it, he called for it, but it's almost like we can't have a pitcher catch this, so you got a catcher going backwards out to the pitcher's mound. Look at this. He calls for it. Pivetta sort of, I got it, and then he's going to go backwards to try to catch this thing. And a little clank job off his glove. I mean, that's ugly right there.
So let me ask you, why has it been going on for 125 years that a pitcher can't catch a pop-up?
It's like get out of the way. It's like, you can't play. You're not an athlete. Get out of here.
He's very capable.
Of totally.
There's a bullet ripped to right. Renfroe on the move. That's going to take a bounce and off into the stands for a double. That'll set up runners at second and third on a shot by Biggio. Jumped on it for 2 bases.
What a big error it is sitting right now. Pivetta's got to get out of this thing. Biggio jumps on this ball, hits a topspin, luckily topspin fastball middle in, and he goes to town on it. And it is a topspin. He gets it over Renfroe, and it takes 1 hop and get in the seats. Ground rule double, second and third here, 1 out.
Number 9 man McGuire hitting .217. Did have a double last night. And the first one to him will be ball 1.
Boy, these guys have hit some hard balls, haven't they?
All right, last night was peppering the wall.
Yeah, if that wall wasn't there, they might have had a couple more home runs.
Second and third, one away. And a big swing and a foul back by McGuire. Semien on deck.
Back-to-back high curveballs. It's not where you want to throw your curveball, but there's strikes called up there.
But guys are doing that this year, aren't they? Or is it just imagination? Are you seeing a lot of that?
I know, I have. I've seen strikes called up there that are ugly curveballs. I can't imagine doing it on purpose.
It's so dangerous.
Totally.
Guys are looking for that pitch, but umpires are calling it strikes. To center field on the move, Hernandez. He'll make the catch. Panic tagging up. And here's the throw. The tag. Got him! Kike launching from center field and cuts down Panic. A double play to end the inning. Red Sox outfielders continue to be outstanding.
Erase that error is what he did.
By Craftsman, the official tools of the Boston Red Sox.
Another great throw by a Red Sox outfielder. This time Kike Hernandez cuts off the runner at Holmes. He launches this ball like that all the way. One hop. Nice play there by Vasquez making the tag, but a great throw by Kike. One hop, Panic thrown out, tries to go on the inside part of the base. Vasquez there to tag him out. Great play.
So it remains 2-0 Toronto, bottom of the second inning, and line the other way for a base hit. Off the bat of Devers, all the way to the warning track, Hernandez. And a lengthy single, and a good way to start the second inning for Boston.
Little momentum swing. Play at the plate, you cut down a runner, and then he hits a bullet. First pitch out over the plate. There's that line drive by Devers, fastball.
And did you feel that was a real thing whenever you were in the dugout? Somebody made a great defensive play last out of the inning, that it really translated?
Oh, I think so. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Surprised Kike wasn't the guy hitting, and so I thought, that's what normally happens.
Usually the case, yeah. Here's Hunter Renfroe, 257 with 7 home runs. His batting stat presented by Plymouth Rock Assurance, the official auto and home insurance provider of the Boston Red Sox. On our 3-game hitting streak. Lately, he's been handling right-handers better after a very cold start against them, and left-handers he's handled all year, 327. Fewer home runs against them, but 327 off lefties.
To me, he's been probably the most important player of this team so far. I don't think anybody expected him to be playing every day and doing what he's been doing for a month and a half now. They knew he had the power, but he's been swinging it.
1-1. Moves him back. Recently had a 10-game hitting streak. Hunter with 52 starts in right field and 1 in center field coming into play today, and has really solidified that position, because that was not necessarily the case when the season got underway.
And that's so helpful to Cora. I mean, you don't want to have to, change it up every day. A new outfielder out there.
Oh, got him picked. Devers trying to get in. The throw down's waiting, though, and he is out. So erase Rafael Devers, and one man gone.
You got to be careful to begin with a left-hander. You're not really sure about his move, and he was going on first move. That's what he was doing. Down 2-0. I don't know. He's not really a base stealer anyway. He can steal a base. He runs okay, but he just got picked off. That's just the way it is.
And a 2-1. Breaking ball missing in. 3 balls a strike on Renfroe with Vasquez on deck.
That could change the momentum in a hurry too, right there.
Working too quickly, and he is working really fast, and the timeout granted by Carapazza. 2-0 Toronto. And that's going to miss for ball 4. So lefty has walked his first man on the day.
The rivalry returns to Fenway. Don't miss out on an epic weekend. Red Sox versus the Yankees baseball. Join us Friday, June 25th for Pedroia Night at Fenway to honor the Laser Show with a special ceremony. For more info, visit redsox.com/ season tickets.
And I hear through the grapevine it's going to be a very special ceremony, and there are going to be some really cool gifts. I've asked some questions, and I'm getting stonewalled.
What about the box or about other things?
No, about other stuff that
Okay.
the club is planning to give Petey. You know, to congratulate him on a magnificent career, but no one will tell us what it is.
What can you give somebody that has everything? Seriously.
You're right. He does have everything. I've seen video of the compound. It's not a house, it's a compound.
Oh, in Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I mean, he's got, all sorts of stuff for the kids and for the big kid that he is.
Do you remember what they gave Ortiz? I can't remember that. It wasn't that long ago, but
he did get a street named after himself.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that.
And a bridge.
Bridge, perfect too, right?
For David, yeah.
For David.
David goes bridge.
A bridge named after me.
I remember when Joe Castig had his, I want to say his 30-year anniversary as Red Sox play-by-play man. They got him a great gift. They got Joe and his wife a trip to Italy. Wonderful, wonderful trip. And Larry Lucchino, I think, was the guy who picked out like all the stops, and they would have cooking classes and they'd be limoed everywhere. And Joe still raves about that trip. It was so generous of the Red Sox to do.
Got family there, I would assume.
Oh,
right?
yeah. He was saying hi to everybody he met. A ball, a strike on Christian Vazquez, 263 home runs. He's got a base runner in Renfroe. And it's 2-1. Tampa Bay already out in front of Baltimore, 3-0 second inning. Yankees leading the Phillies 4-0 there in the first inning in the Bronx. Sox trying to get something going against Mats, and foul back. 2-2.
The way Red Sox have played all season long, and you're still one game back. It tells you everything about that Tampa team. They cease to amaze me every time I look at the box score. Every night they find a way to win.
And dramatically often.
Yeah.
And sometimes in very strange ways. Like 2 nights ago. In one inning scoring 5 times on 2 hits. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah.
And a 2-2. Well outside. Christian Arroyo on deck. We have Christian mic'd up for this game, so I'm looking forward to what that might merit.
He's had 2 out-of-body experiences the last 2 nights. 3-run shot 2 nights ago, and then that moonshot that tied it last night. He was styling around the bases, wasn't he?
He said 2 nights ago when he's around the bases, he pretty much blacked out, which is pretty cool. Fouled off.
He didn't black out last night because he had a little dance going around third base.
Yes, he did. I mean, to me, it looked very similar to what Vlad Guerrero does.
Yeah, you think?
And did.
So you think that was kind of on purpose?
I thought maybe a little bit. I don't know if he'll cop to that, but I think it might have been.
Well, you could get away with anything nowadays. I mean,
sure. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't feel like there are any rules anymore. And I'm kind of liking that. I like the idea that guys can express themselves and show their personality.
I don't play anymore. I'm cool with anything, man.
3-2. So Arroyo next. 2-0 Toronto on another massive clout by Vlad Guerrero Jr., his 20th of the season, to put the Blue Jays in front. That was in the first inning off Nick Pivetta.
Vazquez 4 for 5 off Mats with 2 jacks. Remember, he hit him in Citi Field last year. Same game, I believe.
3-2 runner holding. Right back to Mats, and he'll throw it into the outfield. Boy, you see that so often. Renfroe easily down to third on the slope of the hill, and a misfire.
And that's why they don't let pitchers catch pop-ups right there. I tell you. I mean, this is a double. It's not going to be a double play. Ball's hit too softly, but he had all the time in the world to read the the stitches on the thing, and he knew it. He held on to it too long. He got to take a little crow up there, and he launches it. Look how bad is this throw? He yanks it right into center field. He can't wait to cover third base.
He reacted after he unleashed that throw like he had been punched in the stomach.
Oh.
So, Red Sox with a break. Charlie Montoya looking on the manager, first and third. And
Boy.
Here comes Arroyo.
Boy, you got to make him pay. Arroyo's the right guy at the right time right here.
Hit the game-tying home run each of the last 2 games against Houston and last night against the Blue Jays. Curveball strike.
5-4 game last night. Edwards throws him a high piece of cheese and he loses. A little cut on that ball, but he got to it. Moonshot. Late bat flip and went about his business around the bases and a little style act around third.
1 ball and 1 strike. Sox looking to get on the board with the help of an error. Remember, Devers started the inning with a base hit, but he was picked off. Now walking an E1, and the Sox are in business again. The lefty's pitch. Matz last year pitching for the Mets made 6 starts. He went 0-5 with an ERA of 10.17.
No wonder they let him go.
And allowed at least 1 home run in each start. Home run cut there, 2-2.
What I've seen so far is really pretty good velocity, not really great command. Secondary stuff hit or miss.
One down, first and third. And the 2-2. Strike 3, caught him looking. No question a home plate ump Carapazza, but that's the 3rd K in the book for Matz today.
Big league pitch there. That just froze him. No chance. 96 right there. Pins it. High strike up and in. Beautiful thing for him. Arroyo can't really squawk there.
Brings up Bobby Dahlbeck, first base hitting out of the 8th spot at 194 with 7 home runs. It is 15th career home run last night in his 74th game.
Yeah, he got to hit a wall scraper last night. Was about 440, I think, dead central.
Bobby's done okay against lefties. 279, 4 home runs. One for 3, a home run against this guy. Cuts right through it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
This guy's got life on that fastball.
Yeah, that one 95.
But sometimes it looks 95. Other times it doesn't. That looked all a 95.
Two down. He won't chase it. Power hitter presented by Comcast Business, serving gig speeds to the most businesses. Bobby Dahlbeck notes. Last couple of games, 3 for 8, couple of extra base hits. Previous 8 games, he was 3 for 27 with 13 strikeouts. Been doing a lot of extra work, and I mean a lot. Runner at first breaks. No throw and a fake by McGuire. And Vasquez will lift another base. He has been a #1 base stealer for the Red Sox.
They pretty much gave it to him, but he pushes the envelope, steals the base. Leads the Red Sox in stolen bases, 6 on the season. He was gone. He was so gone. He hadn't even picked his foot up yet, and he was off to the races. Time for a big hit here.
Count 3-1. And now all filled up as he came back with a fastball.
Well, he probably thought he was right on that, and that ball was by him. That ball's a little too tall, man. It's hot up there.
interesting to say with a guy of his size, but see what he gets in 3-2. Runners at second and third.
Got a better chance of ball down there.
Marwin Gonzalez, should we get that far? Red Sox down 2-0 early. The 6'4" Dahlbeck waiting in the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a pop up. Sky high. The catcher moving over McGuire. He's calling off panic, and he'll make the play on the warning track. So a threat for the Red Sox, but they fail to score. 2-0 Toronto. Well, comforts of home presented by Bernie and Phil's right now. Get 0% financing for up to 60 months. No minimum purchase. Shop in store or online. Last 13 Red Sox games at Fenway. The Sox are 9-4. Team ERA 4.11. Red Sox are 19-15 at home this season. Third best winning percentage in the American League.
Yeah, that's more like it after we've seen about the last year and a half.
And Semien lead things off here. 2-0 Toronto, third inning. Semien hit the ball sharply and lined out to Devers at third, his first and only at bat today. And then Bichette, and then that man again, Guerrero Jr., who's already crushed a home run.
Semien, he doesn't even get out of the box. He's just ready. He's just as ready as Pivetta.
So no matter what happens, it should be over quickly between these two. Cut on and missed, and it was.
Yeah, 3 breaking balls, 2 hooks, and a slider. Beautiful pitch right there. 0-2. Boy, you can this pitch right here. I wish I could have that pitch anytime you want with 2 strikes. That is a perfect spot for it.
His third strikeout today, and Bichette now, he singled on the first pitch he saw in the first inning and was on base when Guerrero hit his out. Swinging bunt here. Pivetta wants to take it, a bare hand, the toss. Nicely done. 2 gone.
Came out throwing breaking balls. That's his 4th breaking ball. A little cutter. A little weak ground ball back to the pitcher. You kind of hold your breath again after watching that throw by Matz.
Oh, but now you're back to, you know, pitchers are really good athletes.
Right.
And made that play very smoothly.
I'm sure Pivetta is a real good athlete. He looks like it, doesn't he?
Sure does. Vlad Guerrero Jr. 20 home runs now, hitting .339 with 52 runs batted in, having some season.
I don't think he's going to throw him a fastball this time. Put the ranch on it.
Started him with a slide piece. Now, a trimmed down version of Vladimir this year has made all the difference. And he has been raking since opening day. That one got by him.
That's his best fastball, a little upstairs. But this is the hottest hitter we've seen all year. A little quick fastball is what it was. Hurry up fastball. Sometimes that works. He's smiling maybe. A little quick pitch.
Quick in more ways than one. Came in at 97 and a 1-1 home.
Little hesitation piece there. He's breaking everything out. He's been watching Evaldi throw, right? That's what Evaldi does. A little hesitation, hurry up.
Base is empty, 2 down, and a 2-1 pitch to Guerrero. And that'll miss for ball 3. Time for the Roundup brand's reliable performer. Most batted balls of 110 miles or more in the majors this season. And Guerrero Jr. at the top with 35 of those. And he's going to take a walk here. Maybe that's not a bad idea. keep him from doing too much damage.
Boy, how about back in the days with Barry Bonds? Remember they walked in with the bases loaded once. Who did that? Did Jim Leland do that? No, that was his manager.
Who was Showalter, wasn't it?
Showalter, right.
Buck Showalter. Buck Showalter, good manager.
Oh, yeah.
That made all the sense in the world at that time.
Oh, yeah. He was incredible. You look back at some of those numbers. How many? He walked like 175 times.
Unreal. Hernandez 0 for 1 with a strikeout. You know, I called his home run on ESPN that broke Hank Aaron's record in San Francisco, talking about Barry Bonds.
The left-hander from the Washington Nationals. Don't know his name, but he was left-hander, wasn't he?
Little flare foul.
You remember that?
I do. And a guy no one ever talked about and hasn't really mentioned since, but there was so little fanfare over that home run outside of San Francisco. San Francisco is one thing, but around the country, the rest of the nation yawned.
Yeah, that was, you know, and probably rightly so. I mean,
yep. But it was weird to be in that bubble where they were cheering for him.
Oh, San Francisco was
in San
loving
Francisco
it. Yeah.
As if it were all legit. In for strike 1 and 2.
I'm surprised Henry Aaron never said anything bad about it. I don't remember anything coming out.
He never did. In fact,
No.
It was the opposite.
Right. I think he was so
really
classy
gracious
about
it. Yep. I wonder how he really felt though, in his heart of hearts, about Bonds breaking that record. Runner takes off, and a breaking ball will miss, and down to second easily, Vlad Guerrero Jr.
We've seen a handful of those high curveballs, just too high. It's there for the taking. Do drop in. It didn't drop in. Just a little too high.
Hernandez, 34 runs batted in. Very capable RBI man. He's hit 8 home runs. 2-0 Blue Jays. And outside to make it 3-2.
Trying to be careful with that fastball. That's why he's going to all this breaking stuff. It's fastball hitting team without a doubt. But who isn't? Most big league teams are.
Hernandez has already whiffed once, and he will whiff again. Big curveball to set him down. One man left at second.
Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center physicians provide first aid and emergency care at Fenway Park throughout the season. As the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, there's no ballpark we'd rather be at. Visit BIDMC.org to learn more about our services and our Harvard-affiliated team.
And what a day to be at Fenway. Absolutely gorgeous. Low 70s, plenty of sunshine today. Red Sox need some offense, though, as Gonzalez gets in here against Matz, the left-hander. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it off for strike 1. Marwin looking to string some hits together. 192 with 2 home runs.
Yeah, that big home run. The last home run in New York was a big one. 2-run shot.
He was the man in that series.
He really was. He had a double left-handed the game before. Came up big in that series.
0-1. Ripped but foul. Put a really fine swing on that, but a little too soon. Kike Hernandez on deck, and then Alex Verdugo. Without fail, though, in every series, if not in every game, defensively, when Marwin's in there, he makes a play.
It's uncanny. It really is. It's just a little this, a little that.
Does not hit it hard. Matz will lob this one in plenty of time. One man gone. Now to Jemai with the homestand report live from the Ford Clubhouse here at Fenway.
Thank you very much, Dave. I was talking with Bobby Dahlbeck a little bit earlier, and he continues to put in work coming off a month of May where he hit 221 games. And you mentioned the numbers against lefties, which has led him to like a platoonish type situation at first base with the Red Sox this season. So he tells me that when he's not in the lineup, he continues to try and work. And doing that, he's been standing into the bullpens of Nathan Eovaldi and even Nick Pivetta. He says that is allowing him to keep his eyes sharp, so when the real thing presents itself, he's not just attacking the ball with his eyes, but he can swing freely upon recognition. And when asked about how those bullpens are going, he says both guys, they throw the ball hard. He said Eovaldi even utilized that little hesitation step. Although he wasn't swinging it, he says it still kind of tripped him up a bit, but he's getting the work in all around any way he can.
So Nate likes to mess around a little bit. That's what that says to me.
Yeah.
And Bobby has been putting in overtime. We've seen it with the pitching machines. Trying to get quicker. Trying to be on time. The 1-1 out in front on the change.
Haven't seen that good changeup right there. It's a good one. Seen the good live fastball, but look at that three-finger turn me over. Kind of stops.
Alex Verdugo next. 2-0 Toronto. The former Met fires, and he's had a good fastball today. That one at 96, but a miss.
You can see this guy could be tough. Live fastball, the curveball. He's seen the changeup. He's seen a couple of hard sliders.
Sox 4-2 against these guys this season. You know, the other thing he likes to do, he likes to swing the bat. He considers himself a hitter.
Who, Matz?
Yeah.
He must have gone deep a few times.
2018, he homered in 2 straight games.
Like Ron Darling.
Just like Ronnie and Tom Seaver.
I know Ron Darling told me about that. That's why I know that.
3-2 at a comebacker. Matz will snatch that and get him. 2 up and 2 down. A key matchup presented by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. We're always here to get you there. Matz this season on the road 5-1. ERA of 3.69. Tough to hit. Been a different story at home where he has a 5.76 ERA. But it is tough to pitch at Dunedin.
Yeah, I'd say so. You wonder when they'll go back to Toronto. I mean, I think they will. It's just a matter of when.
Been a lot of talk about it. Continues with the government. They have been slow to vaccinate.
It's like you and me. We haven't got a home. You just sold your home. I sold mine recently.
Yours.
I haven't got a house, man.
It's
stinks.
You feel unhinged.
Totally.
You know, especially if you've been in your home for a long time.
Oh,
Everyone who's done it, you have the same feeling. It's like, well, wait a minute.
It's nice to to clean everything out and move, but you feel a little naked without ownership somewhere else.
You do. Verdugo 0 for 1. He's grounded out to short.
Well, that was a late strike call, wasn't he? He had to get a better look at it. It was a strike.
Big shift on. 3 men stacked on the right side and a 1-2.
A lefty on lefty changeup right there.
Last year, Alex hit .320 against lefties. Big cut down on the curveball. He goes 1-2-3 go the Red Sox in the 3rd.
Win big with the Red Sox Foundation 50-50 raffle presented by DraftKings. Fans over 18 years old in Massachusetts can support the foundation and buy raffle tickets at redsox.com/5050 now through the 6th inning of today's game for the chance to win half of the net jackpot. See official rules for details.
Grichuk, the batter, will look at a strike, and I want a hot dog all of a sudden. I mean, watching fans getting after
good. You're a big hot dog guy. I know you've said that before.
I like a hot dog in the ballpark. Hot dog and a Coke or a beer, whatever.
It's been so long too, right? That's what it is.
That's the thing. I mean, you want to get back to those traditions, I
mean, where else do you eat a hot dog? Seriously. I mean, you grill hot dogs, I guess, but I want to grill steak. I don't want to grill a hot dog.
I'm with you there. You get me on the barbecue. But you go to the movies. For me, I'm a popcorn guy. Got a popcorn I can't watch a film without.
Well, same here.
And coming to the ballpark, better do a dog.
No butter on. I have no butter on.
No
the
butter.
popcorn.
No,
nope.
There's plenty on there already.
Yeah,
Believe me.
yeah.
1-2 off the plate. Grichuk followed by Tellez and then Panic. Fourth inning, 2-0 Toronto. Is anyone going back to the movies yet? Are people going to the movies?
I guess there are.
I mean, that's one of those things. Like coming to the ballpark, you feel like, okay, now we're finally getting there.
All I know is I've seen so many Netflix, and I mean, you think about what everyone's went through over this last year. Some of the stuff I've watched.
Should have bought stock in Netflix like 3 years ago. 2-2 is in, and the count 3-2 on Grichuk. Tellez waiting his turn, swung on and missed. He went upstairs with a heater and got him.
Boy, he is not afraid to go 3-2, and he gets the punch out there with a fastball. That ball upstairs there is just so tantalizing. It's not even close. And he goes hacking, which he likes to do. Ball's out of the zone. Too tall, as they say.
Tellez caught looking on a third strike, second inning. 3 home runs for him, batting .211.
Well, that's one of the few changeups you'll ever see from Pivetta.
Nick going through this lineup, very good lineup for the second time today. And a ground ball yanked to Arroyo from the grass. 2 down.
Don't miss your chance to sign up for the official Red Sox fantasy camp taking place in Fort Myers at JetBlue Park in January. Escape the cold and live out your dream of being a Major League Baseball player. There are only a few spots available, so secure your spot. For more details, email travel@redsoxfantasycamp.com or call 617-226-6400.
Does TC ever stop talking?
Why do you say that? Oh, yeah, there you go. I was saying, what are you talking about?
I mean, you got a shot him in the stands, enjoying the ball game, having a great time.
That's funny, isn't it?
But he never stops talking.
I'm going to tell him we saw him chirping again.
I think when the lights go out and he's falling asleep, he's still talking.
He's got a good seat, too.
Oh, yeah. But, if you're a fan and you see Tom Caron, you're like, Tom, I want to talk to you.
Who doesn't know Tom Caron? Seriously, he's been on TV for decades.
I don't know anyone who would say, I don't know Tom Caron. I don't.
TC is what he is.
But all the people I know say, does he ever stop talking? Panic reached on an error by Vasquez. First time up, and the Red Sox erased that on a terrific throw by Kike Hernandez from center field to cut him down at home plate. Toronto has the lead on a home run by Guerrero Jr. Oh, Pivetta was thinking about walking off that hill right into the dugout.
Boy, he's just been mixing it up. This and that and this and that. Finish him off with a fastball. I'm out of here.
2-2 to the former San Francisco Giants. Man, are they a story.
Yeah, they are.
They have a 1.5 game lead over the LA Dodgers, 3.5 over the Padres in the West. Some are saying they're the best team in baseball.
They're hitting home runs. That didn't used to be a home run hitting ballpark. They pulled the fences in a hair, didn't they? They have the bullpens out there now.
High chop. Pivetta's got to wait for this one to come down. A little leap, and he'll get him. Pitchers are pure athletes.
You got it.
Exactly right, Ed. 2-0 Toronto. Time to the MGM Monster Moment trivia question. Which Red Sox player has the most home runs at Rogers Center by a visiting opponent? Manny, Mookie, or Big Papi? Head to NESN's Twitter to submit your answer right now. JD Martinez leading off the inning, bottom of the fourth inning. So far, a pretty sleepy day for the Red Sox offensively against the left-hander Steven Matz. JD 0 for 1. He whiffed in the first inning. 4 strikeouts for Matz. Only 1 hit off him. And that was the Devers base hit, and then he was cut down going to second base, picked off. And a 1-1 pitch. Bounced up there. Sox looking for their 40th victory. Going to have to come from behind again. They don't seem to sweat that. Last night was their 23rd come from behind victory from 4 runs down. It was their largest deficit to come back and win. Down 5-1 in that game. 2-2.
Oh, pretty nasty changeup once again. He's going to be tough. He keeps doing that.
Raffy on deck and a 2-2 on the way. He's run it full. He's walked 1 so far. That was Hunter Renfroe.
That was never tempting, that hard slider.
Heart of the order here. Second look at Matz. We'll see how much a difference that makes. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Would have been ball 4. Struck him out for the second time.
Boy, how do you be looking there? Slider. He thought looking fastball, swung for a fastball. Slider ate him up. This ball's not even close, but totally fooled him. Sold out on a fastball, got a slider down and in. Slider, curve, whatever. Nasty.
So 1 away in the Red Sox 4th. Brings up Rafael, who hit one the other way. Line shot to left for a second inning single. 2-0 Toronto. Vlad Guerrero Jr. striking again in the first inning. A no doubt about it 2-run homer. That's all the scoring. Late cut fouled away. Came at him with a fastball.
That's a quick fastball, isn't it? Doesn't it look like it's hot?
96. It's moving too.
Yeah, I don't believe that gun sometimes, and also, I believe that 96. That's all of it.
Rafael 5 for 21 on the homestand. It's not homered on it. Looking to bunt. Takes a strike. 1-2.
I thought he got over that bunt stuff. He did that a couple weeks ago, didn't he? A couple times, and then
I don't know.
Started laying out ropes everywhere, and you're like, "What are you doing?"
Drops down a bunt. I stick it in my back pocket and say thank you very much.
Totally.
Cut on and missed. He will strike out. Boy, some nasty stuff here by Matz. That curveball has been tough today.
Well, he's got such a good fastball. I mean, you know, he can throw it, and you got to be. That's all you're thinking is fastball, and he twists his wrist, and he makes you look silly. He made JD look bad on the breaking ball, and right back-to-back strikeouts on breaking balls.
6 Ks for the left-hander. Now Hunter Renfroe drew a walk in the second. Nothing came of that. Hunter right now ranking number 2 in the major leagues with 7 outfield assists. Red Sox have added another one today on a chuck by Kike Hernandez from center field to cut down panic at home plate. So as a whole, the Red Sox outfield has been really good on that. High fly down the right field line toward the pesky pole, but that one will break to the right.
Yeah, we've seen some gas out there from the outfield. Renfroe in particular, 98 miles an hour out of his hand. I mean, he used to be a pitcher, so he knows something about throwing the ball hard.
Those are from flat ground.
Yeah. It's not a running start.
He's got a cannon.
I wonder what kind of gas Dewey used to have. You know?
If they ever put a clock on
I
him.
played catch with Dewey before, man. He's got some carry on that thing.
I guarantee it. He did not offer. They did appeal to Visconti. Said no swing. 2-2.
Dewey was pretty when he played, didn't he? Fundamentally, he was just sound.
He was elegant.
He was, because he wasn't a big burner. He couldn't run, right? But he'd get to everything. Nobody ran on him. I mean, how many times you see him fly ball right, and then everybody stops?
They just
right?
stop.
They stopped, and he throws it in, and
pause button.
and he gets to throw it in or whatever. One hop all the way to the plate, and they go, "Oh!"
Yeah, the whole crowd.
The whole crowd. It's beautiful. And they go.
And they weren't going anywhere on him.
He was something, man.
Yeah, great outfielder. You know, Mookie got here. I was like, yeah. I mean, he's in.
Oh, he can go get it because he
can
can fly. Mookie, go get it.
3 balls, 2 strikes. But you're right. I mean, my concept of what a right fielder at Fenway will always be is Dwight Evans.
It is, no doubt.
You know, grew up watching him. So
I saw him on the Game of the Week once. I wasn't in the big leagues yet, and that's when I used to see Fenway Park.
3-2 is going to walk him. So Renfroe seems to have figured out Matz a little bit. He's drawn a pair of walks, and here comes Vasquez. Trying to do something with 2 Red Sox behind 2-0. Only 1 hit thus far. Game 3 of this series tomorrow afternoon at 1:10. Martin Perez against fellow left-hander Robbie Ray.
Robbie Ray having a nice year for them. A little comeback season for him.
He is. He's 3-2, 3.36 ERA. Martin will go in 4-3 with a 3.88. Should be a good duel. Hunter Renfroe with the lead at first with 2 gone. First pitch swinging Vasquez, foul back, strike 1.
Fastball's getting on these guys.
Tampa Bay has opened up their lead 5-0 over Baltimore, 4th inning. The Rays, very much like the Red Sox, been okay at home, really good on the road. They're 23-10 on the road. Red Sox are 20-10 on the road. And the count 0-2. Certainly hoping as it continues to warm up, days like today, and with the Red Sox offense as potent as it is, they'll start to pile up more wins at home.
You know, you talk about Tropicana Field. Is that a, you'd say that was a pitcher's park, wouldn't you?
I would.
Yeah, okay. So there's no home field advantage for them this year. I mean, I always thought that they pitched better because they had that ballpark a little bit. Foul territory more so, right?
You know, they're 17-14. They're good, but not great at home. 0-2, floater toward left center field, charging on at Grichuk, coming over Hernandez. Hernandez will make the play. 1 man left.
Extra innings live right after the game. TC and Wake will break down the game, and you'll hear from Nick Pivetta and Alex Cora. Who but W.B. Mason?
I'm telling you what, the bucket hats are a runaway success today.
Could have used them in that hot weekend last weekend, wasn't it?
Yes. When it was into the 90s. Perfect today, low 70s. 2-0 Toronto. 5th inning. Pivetta taking on Biggio here. He is doubled against him. He'll go the other way this time, lifting a fly ball to left toward the wall. Verdugo looking up, and that ball's out of here. That got into the front row of the monster seats for a home run, and Cavan Biggio has hit his 4th home run of the season.
Yeah, he's done that before here at Fenway Park, and then the ball's carrying. There's no doubt about it. He just got this ball up there. There's no wind. The ball just did not come down, and after all the balls they hit on a line last night off the wall, you see this home run go out of the ballpark, hanging curveball. He just little uppercut gets it up in the left center field, and it gets out of here. First row or not, ball's gone.
So Biggio had a good day, Bruin, a double, a home run just off the IL as of yesterday. Here's McGuire. Three to nothing Toronto. Semien on deck. Pitch number 69 from the right-hander, and he missed with it.
Red Sox have been so stingy with the home run this year too. 2 today makes 53 home runs. I believe they lead the league in not giving up very many home runs.
One off the outside. Some shadows creeping in here on 5:30. 2-2. He's had good life on the fastball.
Always seems to have a decent fastball.
Looking to fan McGuire with a 2-2 and rolled over that one to hang in there. So we were just talking about how stingy Red Sox starters had been allowing home runs, and we have the stat on that. It's our twisted but true today about Red Sox starters and how good they've been with the home run. 3-2 check swing and no swing after the appeal. It's ball 4. And twisted but true presented by Twisted Tea. Hard iced tea, unwind with a twist. Here was the read. Red Sox starters have allowed 1 or 0 home runs in 46 straight starts, but 2 today now.
Yeah, they haven't given up 3 all season in one game, which is really hard to do in this day and age. Home run ball? Are you kidding me?
Well, base runner for Marcus Semien, who was lined hard to third and struck out. He'll hit a high fly ball left field. Verdugo turning around on this one. That ball is gone.
Well, I guess that's on me for jinxing that third home run, because this ball is gone. Hanging breaking ball once again. 2 hanging breaking balls in this inning. 2 home runs. This is a 2-run shot here by Semien, having a really good year. Home run number 14 for him.
It really is, to make it 5-0. So the first time all year Red Sox starter allowing 3 home runs.
Yeah, breaking ball, the curve ball, just too much of the plate. Hit me on it. Those curve balls go a long ways, and we got deked by Verdugo. He was standing there like he had a beat on it. Then he turned around, looked up, and it's in the seats.
5-0. Bichette 1 for 2 with a single.
Eventually, it was going to happen. I mean, you just in this day and age, you just can't. Especially with the ball carrying now. Some are coming, some are kicking.
I'm amazed it's June 12 before it happens.
Right.
In 2021.
That stuff happens nightly.
Mm-hmm.
But they could leave the ballpark. This offense is legit.
Yeah, as far as a home run hitting team, I mean, they're up there with Minnesota. And they have hit 3 today. Guerrero Jr., Biggio, and now Semien.
Boy, I tell you what, we're in a streak of bad starting performances. This is the 8th in a row that they haven't pitched very well.
And nobody out. Home run, walk, home run. And that one's drilled deep into left center field. That ball's way back. And that ball is gone. Bichette hit it a ton. And Pivetta has allowed 3 home runs in the inning, let alone in a game.
Yeah, curveball's not working. Curveball's not working. 3 home runs on spin balls.
Number 12 for Bo Bichette. It is 6-0 Toronto.
Here we go. Once again, curveball, knuckle curve, belt high. They go a long ways. Full extension again. Looking at it. That's a tape job there. That ball's way back.
And getting a hug from Hernandez. Here comes Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who's already cranked a 2-run homer. Back-to-back home runs for Toronto. It's the 5th time this season they've done that. And they have opened it up here in game 2 with a 4th spot in the 5th inning.
You know, he came into this game. They're only hitting 160 off his curveball. We saw 3 curveballs lead the ballpark. Very unusual, but all hangers. All hangers. Doesn't matter. Good curveballs don't get hit.
No, not that far. 0-2. Sticking with it. That breaking ball in the dirt. 1-2.
I mean, you go out there enough, and you're in the big leagues, you're going to give it up.
Sox do have activity in the bullpen. And is Brandon Brennan, who's warmed up a couple times since he was recalled, has not gotten into a game yet. Bounded to the right side. Nice play by Dahlbeck. Underhand flip, and Pivetta there in time to get him for the first out in the inning.
What a pretty pick there by Bobby D. On one knee. Doesn't go unnoticed regardless what's happened this inning. See him playing way off the bag. Or watch this pick. Yes, nicely done. Nice toss. Pivetta's there early. He can play some first base now. That's like a third baseman pick.
One out in the fifth will bring up Hernandez, who has struck out 2 times. Pivetta came into the game a very modest home run total, only 5 of them. And he's allowed 4 today. Erod with 10 leading the staff as far as most home runs given up. 1-0 will dip down and away. So 6-0 Blue Jays.
I think we're going to see Brandon Brennan's changeup. I heard about his best pitch.
2-0 to Hernandez. Knock foul. Meanwhile, the Red Sox have only 1 hit off of Steven Matz, the left-hander.
Yeah, he's been tough. That's as good as he goes. He's probably thrown as good as he's thrown all year today for 4 innings.
Pitch number 86 from the righty. Had him out in front with that hook. 2-2. The home run ball today for Nick Pivetta. 2-2 coming.
Oh, another hanger up in his eyes.
Nick had not allowed more than 1 home run in any start before the 4th today. He allowed 3 in his last 5 starts combined. And he's running full now on the cleanup man, Teoscar Hernandez. He has 8 home runs. 3-2 hit hard. Knocked down by Devers. Gathers, guns, close, and got him. Bang, bang at first. But he set him down. Red Sox have made a couple of nice plays on the corners.
Once he didn't get it clean, I said, how's he going to do this? A long throw, but he got enough on it. Backhand clanked off the heel, but he got to it in a hurry and he threw a seed. Sharply hit, 1 hop, picked it. High throw. Bobby D's tall over there. Not an easy play. Recovered.
2 away. Here's Grichuk. He struck out and grounded to third. Starts him with a curveball. So Nick up to 90 pitches. He has made some mistakes today. I'm sure he'll be the first one to say that. However this game turns out. And Vlad Guerrero Jr., Cavan Biggio, Marcus Semien, and Bichette have all homered off him. 1-1.
A lot of breaking stuff today. That's what I've seen. A lot of breaking stuff.
And closing in on 100 pitches. Rattled foul over near his dugout.
He hasn't shied away from that curveball, though, has he? He just keeps throwing it. Saw the slider earlier and then a curveball there, hung inside.
Four runs in this inning for Toronto, and a 2-2 pitch on the way to Grichuk. Last time Nick faced Toronto, he went 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 5 runs. Knocked foul off to the right by Grichuk. Tellez with it next.
Trying to get out of this inning. He walks them or gets a hit. The hook is out.
Well, there's a lot of pitches for 4 2/3 innings. This will be number 96.
We've seen a lot of that lately, right?
Sure have.
90 to 100 pitches on 5 innings.
Breaking ball, got him. He wanted to walk. He'll strike out instead, but they also get 3 home runs and they score 4 times. In for a strike here on Arroyo as we get the bottom of the 5th inning underway. Christian is 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. So it's bottom 3 due up here against Steven Matz, who's been really good. 1 hit off him. Rafael Devers has that, a single in the 2nd. That's been all.
Boy, I tell you, he gets that breaking stuff over. He is dangerous.
Arroyo hitting .274, 3 home runs. And we'll get a piece of that one. Yeah, and he has been landing the breaking stuff. The fastball has been really good. Looking for his 7th strikeout. Fouled off instead.
That ball is by him very late. You got that breaking ball in your brain. I tell you who could land some breaking balls, that Valdez, that left-hander with Houston. Best curveball we've seen all year.
Yep, Framber Valdez, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. I think the Red Sox would too. The evaluation of that curveball, because you know it's not one of those 12-6 jobs that falls out of a cloud. It stays about hip high.
It does,
and then dives.
It looks unhittable. The good one.
It does. You know, and that's how Sandy Koufax used to throw his. I'm not throwing that around, you know.
There's no hump in it.
No hump in it, right? And he's going to get him here. Strike 3. Arroyo becomes the 7th strikeout victim of Matz.
CVS Health is investing nearly $600 million over 5 years in support of social justice and health equity initiatives. To learn more, visit cvshealth.com.
So, you know, you throw around a Sandy Koufax, like everyone goes, you're comparing him to Sandy Koufax. But that one pitch, I'm not saying his fastball is, because it's not. I'm not saying his command is necessarily Koufaxian. But, boy, that curveball for Valdez.
Yeah, I tell you, I wish I would have seen Sandy Koufax pitch. I didn't. I mean, I was a Giants fan as a kid, and I went to games, not very many, but you couldn't see on TV. They never had a center field camera.
Well, you hated him anyway.
Oh, I did, because I was Mr. Juan Marichal.
Giants, yeah.
Oh, I love Juan Marichal.
Yeah, and he was your Sandy Koufax.
Right.
But I've only seen, you know, what I've seen on tape and, you know, film of Sandy is exactly that. Hitters going, I don't know, is that a fastball, curveball? I'm already struck out, you know.
Do you have a changeup? I bet he did. I bet he had 2-pitch pitcher. Is that what he was? I think so.
Did he need anything else?
I don't think so.
If not for the elbow.
What kind of hair do you have? Like he must. Did he? High 90s?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Koufax was probably 97, 98.
Yeah, I'm
sure.
assuming.
And incredible command and control. I remember talking to Tony Perez, who I adored. Tony, of course, the great Cincinnati Red and a tremendous career Hall of Famer, great hitter, RBI guy. Mm-hmm. And he said it was the easiest 0 for 4 I ever took, and I took it a lot against Koufax. He said because you always knew he was going to throw strikes. He was never going to knock you off the plate. He wasn't going to knock you down. You had no fear other than the fact he would strike you out. He said Drysdale.
It was just the opposite.
Total opposite.
Right.
You knew you were going to be ducking and diving, but.
And Drysdale used to load it up too, I heard.
Yeah?
Yeah. Nasty slider, too hard, loaded it up.
Great when you know the guy who throws, you know, hard is loading it up. There's a deep drive, left center field. That's way back there. And that ball is going to be off the wall. Dahlbeck racing around. He's heading into third. He's going to get there. He ate up big chunks of real estate on his way into third base, and the Red Sox finally have a guy down there.
Yeah, watch Bobby run. I'll tell you, he didn't home run trot this at all. He hit it a long ways. He must have known he didn't get it because he was off to the races. He gets a fastball up and in, and he gets to it. Maybe got it in on him just a hair, but you see him leaving. He's not in his trot. That ball's, wow, where'd that ball go? 3/4 of the way up, almost hit the yellow line. And Bobby was running. Go, Bobby, go. Big man can run a little bit.
Yeah.
I love to watch triples.
Triple's still the most exciting play in baseball. His second of the season, narrowly missing a home run. You knock it to the right side of that yellow line, you've got yourself a home run.
Well, that was close.
It was really close. Marwin will look at a strike.
Because it shot off the other way. It didn't come out the way I thought it would be to center field. It went to left.
I think it really fooled both of the outfielders
did.
out there. Both Hernandez and Grichuk. Sox trying to get on the board. They're down 6-0. Only one down. Infield is backed up, so they'll concede the run. Just got to put it in play on the ground. It's quickly 0-2.
See a ball hit the scoreboard the other night. Last night, Guerrero hit the scoreboard. Remember, it went dead left about 40 feet. I think it went into where they put the numbers in the inning. And it shot dead. I've never seen anything like it.
It's a weird carom. Boy, does he hit the ball hard. 0-2. Swing and a miss. That's not a good at bat. Marwin Gonzalez strikes out.
Yeah, he's in swing mode big time. Gets the curveball down. Can't do anything with it. Matz has got a good deuce. Once again, curveball going down. This 0-2 didn't waste any time.
So now 2 down with a man at third. Kike is struck out and grounded back to the pitcher. Only 2 hits off Matz for Boston. Strike 1 with the curveball at 77. Matz now at 91 pitches. They don't have anybody in the bullpen. High pop up. Shortstop Bichette on the dirt. And he's got it for out number 3. So he pitches around a triple. And it is still 6-0. Red Sox baseball on NESN brought to you by Plymouth Rock Assurance, the official auto and home insurance provider of the Red Sox. William Ravis, the official real estate company of the Boston Red Sox. And by buyatoyota.com. For offers not seen on TV, visit buyatoyota.com. 6-0 Toronto. To the 6th inning we go. Not a lot of hits in the game, but Toronto with 4 home runs off Pivetta, who is done for the day. Time now for a buyfordnow.com call to the bullpen. And as Brandon Brennan, his Red Sox debut, claimed off waivers from Seattle in early May, assigned to Worcester. Made 5 major league appearances for Seattle last year with a .368 earned run average. So Pivetta, a rocky outing, gave up 3 home runs in the 5th inning alone. That's going to be lined into right field, down for a base hit by Tellez. He's 1 for 3.
Yeah, try to get ahead with a fastball. You got a line drive to right field by Tellez. He's got a 2-seam, 4-seam. He's got a good changeup, is what I heard. We'll look for that, and a slider.
Sends up Joe Panik, who has reached on an error by the catcher.
There's that changeup right here. Break it out.
And there you go.
There it is.
On command.
Little fade Johnson down and away.
Panik, part of the 2014 World Series champion San Francisco Giants. Remember, some of those Giant teams had outstanding teams. They won a lot of games, won world championships, had a lot of trouble scoring runs.
Yeah, that's why this year that's unheard of in San Francisco. I think they're leading the league in home runs.
I think you're right. And leading the division in the National League West.
He was having a good year. Kevin Gossman. He pitched for them last year briefly, and they gave him a qualifying offer. He's leading the league in ERA, or right there, right next to DeGrom. DeGrom leading the league, obviously. I think he's got like a 1.2 ERA. Kevin Grossman, again, he's the one that used to be with Baltimore, went away from them, went to another couple teams, but he's having a great year. They've got good pitching.
They've been a giant surprise. Yeah,
Gabe
Gossman,
Kapler.
127 ERA.
There you go. Gabe Kapler getting a second chance.
Yeah. After the Philadelphia experiment. Gabe, a very bright guy. 1-2 pitch. And Luke foul. That's going to keep on cruising out of play.
Couldn't tell you who their closer is. I think it's that Rogers guy that throws down under. I think it's a great place to play, San Francisco. Good ballpark to pitch in, although the ball's flying this year.
They get great crowd support in a typical year. Walk around San Francisco, everyone's wearing giant caps.
Yeah, I played for the A's. We're like the stepchild, you know, in that Bay Area.
Punch the other way, base hit through the hole. So panic is on. Tella's up to second. First two men have reached here in the 6th inning. So does it go Giant fans are 49er fans, A's fans are Raiders fans?
You would think. I think, you know, the East Bay and then the other side peninsula is all. That's why when they tried to move to San Jose, they wouldn't let them, because they sort of own that, you know, San Francisco. I'll tell you what, in '93 they almost moved to St. Pete. A lot of people don't know that. They ended up staying in San Francisco and
got a new ballpark.
Got a new ballpark, and it's been history ever since. But they
Peter
almost,
McGowan, right?
Yes, and they almost left. And A's fans were ecstatic at the time. Get out of here!
The whole market,
right?
Swing and a miss here by Biggio. He's had a very good day, a double and a home run. Coming back off the IL just last night. Son of Craig, the Hall of Famer. His dad, who played his entire career with the Houston Astros, several positions.
Back-to-back changeups there.
Cavan was on the IL with a cervical spine ligament sprain and missed about 3 weeks. And Brennan with a 1-1. Nobody out, 2 on. Through there for a strike. They lead off first and second with nobody out. How about this now? You've got 3 legacy players on this roster. Vlad Guerrero Jr., Cavan, Biggio, and Bichette, right? Their dads all played and were terrific players in the major leagues. This is the first time since they've been together on a big league roster that they have all homered in the same game.
Yeah, you think that would have happened already?
I would have thought several times.
Well, it's going to happen again, that's for sure.
Darn right. 1-2. Evens up the count on Biggio. I called a lot of games that his dad played, you know, either with the Atlanta Braves or with the then Florida Marlins against Houston. His father impacted every single game I ever saw, you know, against Houston. He always did something to help them win or come close to winning. 3-2. Of course, Jeff Bagwell.
He used to be a catcher, right? His dad was a catcher.
He was.
Center field, then second base.
Second base. He was good in all spots. I mean, wherever they played him. Really fine second baseman for a long, long time. 3-2. Little topper here along the first base line on the grass. It's going to die right there for a base hit. How about that? It just died there. And the bases are going to be loaded.
Well, he thought about making a play for a second. Then he said maybe it'll go foul. And it didn't. It bit on the grass and would not go foul. Watch. One hop. That's it. The end. Look at that ball. Looks like it's all cut up. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Look at that. What happened to that ball?
I'd like to know.
Man.
Especially this day and age, I'd really like to know. So they are loaded up for McGuire, who's flied out. He's also walked and scored. Nobody out. Already 6-0 Toronto. They're trying to turn this into an absolute rout here this afternoon. Ball one. Again, starting here with their changeup. 6 runs now, 9 hits for the Blue Jays. No runs, 2 hits for the Red Sox. Each side has made 1 error. Tellez, Panic, and Biggio from third to first. 1-1. Hey, Baltimore is making a run at Tampa Bay. It's 5-4 Rays in the 5th inning at the Trop. Phillies are on top of the Yankees 5-2 5th inning. 1-2.
A good fastball right by McGuire.
Just a .213 hitter.
They have gotten no production out of the catcher position at all. Been a scuffle for them all year. Jansen on the DL. He couldn't hit.
Right-hander looking for the punch out. That drifts away 2-2. He does like that changeup. Tomorrow is game 3 of the series. It is not the ender. Matz has pitched so effectively today. They'll have Robbie Ray going tomorrow at 110 against Martin Perez. Again, 110. Cut on and missed. He struck him out. He went up there at 92 and fanned him.
Follows the changeup with a high fastball and right by him. This ball's way out of the zone. He's swinging wherever he threw it, and it's late. Ball's out of the zone.
Top of the order, here's Semien. He has hit one of the 4 home runs today by the Toronto Blue Jays. His 14th 2-run blow in the 5th inning against Pivetta, who got knocked around today. Over but low, ball 1.
I tell you, if I'm the starting pitcher like Matz right now, it's 6-0, bases loaded. I'm saying I got enough. You know, that's how it is when you can't wait to get back out there. At least I couldn't. You know, I'm thinking I'm good enough to handle a 6-0 lead. I don't need 10. You'll take it, but hurry up.
And here comes Christian Vasquez. I want to talk about this as they'll compare cards.
I'll tell you, this will be the death of me. This I said that last night, and I mean it.
Right.
This does me in every time I see it, and I at least get to complain about it because I got the microphone. I can say something.
Yep.
But that's life.
Who had the first card you ever saw? Do you remember?
I don't. I think it all started last year, didn't it? Right? The card thing. Remember, we kept saying they keep looking in their hat. It hasn't been going on that long. Obviously, since Houston did that.
1 ball, 1 strike. Heck yeah, might have been the Astros for all I know.
Oh, it's got to be their fault why this is happening. Put it on them.
Blame everything on the.
Just blame it on Houston.
On the Astros. It's a terrific ball club we just saw.
It is. I like them a lot.
I think they're going to get steam rolling. Still 1 game out behind Oakland, though.
They're playing a lot of lambs, you said, right?
They are. I looked at the schedule, and it was like everybody virtually coming up here, with maybe one exception, is a 4th or 5th place club. It's not their fault. That's the schedule.
Right.
As good as they are, and
you got to take advantage of that.
I have a feeling they're going to. And yet, the A's continue to cling to a 1-game lead. Bases loaded. And 2-2 on Semien.
What ties him up with that fastball? Looks like a sinker.
Tellez, the runner at third, Panic at second, Biggio on at first. And Bichette, who has singled and homered, is up next. Bounding ball foul off third. Lots of sunshine at Fenway today. It has not been a problem on this beautiful day. Hasn't blinded any of the outfielders or the infielders. Very nice gesture. And a souvenir. Two times gave up that ball. That was very nice of him. Here comes the 2-2. And it'll dip inside to fill up the count. So 3-2, 1 out, bases loaded. Toronto really trying to bust it wide open. And Brennan with a 3-2 on the way to Semien. Hard ground ball picked up. He'll tap the bag. Got the out there onto first, and well done by Devers. Getting out of the inning on the scoop and the fire.
It's the ultimate Red Sox show tomorrow night at 5. TC catches up with the Vice President of Social Responsibility and Inclusion and a special assistant to the Commissioner, Billy Beane, on the importance of championing diversity and acceptance in the league. Plus, we get the latest updates on Chris Sale, presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss, a long-term solution for weight loss.
It's been a great week of updates so far in Chris Sale, huh?
Yes. You don't want to get carried away, but it's kind of exciting to think that he might come back full tilt. Who knows?
Oh, I want to get carried away.
Yeah.
I'm all about getting carried away. I know that Alex Cora said, you know, you've got to temper it, and I know what he means, okay? But Chris Sale is coming out and saying, hey, any role they need me for, whatever I can do, I'll start, I'll go to the bullpen, and I feel great.
You know, you think about one thing they're missing, and you're not going to get 100% Chris Sale. I mean, like a guy that could go 9, but it's like you don't have DeGrom. You're waiting for DeGrom. I mean, that's one thing the Red Sox don't do. They don't really have an ace.
No.
They just don't. That's one thing they're missing. And you'll take the 5 starters, but
yeah, I mean, at various times, all those guys have pitched really, really well.
Right, and you say at one point, you know, Erod might have been the ace, but hasn't pitched like it so far. But when you're missing somebody like Chris Sale, how can you not get excited?
Verdugo 0 for 2, slams that one foul. And I think you're like me. I mean, there's a difference between an ace and a number 1.
Yes, there's like, you could throw an ace around all the time, but the number 1 guy. I mean, who's in that league? Like the DeGrom league. Not very many guys. Scherzer, handful.
3-2. Little trickler. He can't get it by Matz. He'll steady throw. Nice play over there by Guerrero on a throw into the dirt to scoop it. 1 away.
Very calm pick there by Guerrero. Nice play once again for Matz to even get to this thing. He one-hops Guerrero, but he gets sort of cradles it a little bit. Nice pick. Ends up being a 1-3, but it was not easy on both ends.
So Vladimir doing it defensively. He is an absolute terror with the bat. 1 man gone for JD Martinez, who has struck out 2 times against the left-hander and takes strike 1. Started him off with a changeup. He's had a curveball today. He's had a fastball all day.
I think this is as good as he goes today.
He's 2 hit the Red Sox and shut them out.
Got away with an errant toss to center field too.
One pitch. So Matz is up to 101. They do have activity in their bullpen. Despite the fact that he's pitched a terrific game, his pitch count is high. 2-1. That's punched into left center field. Grichuk moving over, slides and dropped it. That came out of the glove. He had to reach back behind himself as he went sliding in the other direction. And JD Martinez is on.
He said it looked like he misjudged this. I thought he had a beat on it, and the ball died. The ball died right in front of him. He had to go back, reach back. Thought he had it in the webbing, and it came out, but it kind of fooled him. This ball dies right at the end. It just dies. I don't know if he kind of overran it a little bit. Didn't go straight to the spot, but probably not that easy of a play.
Yeah, you wonder how much English it had on it too. Was it knuckling on him? So a base runner. Only the Red Sox third hit. Rafael has singled and struck out, 1 for 2. Out in front a bit, ground ball to second baseman. He guns down to the shortstop and gets the out there. So JD erased, and Devers will become the runner at first base with 2 away. Time now for the pocket schedule presented by GMC. So another one tomorrow, another one Monday. And then the Red Sox on the road to Atlanta, Kansas City, and Tampa Bay with 2 off days in there.
Benintendi in Kansas City having a decent year for them this year.
Alex Cora said that date looming, the 17th, that Thursday, said that's going to be like gold.
Oh, yeah.
After 17 and 17. Hunter Renfroe, not a lot to swing at yet today. He's been walked 2 times. Two down, last half of the 6th inning, 6-0 Toronto. And he'll punch in a strike. Not a lot of at bats for Hunter against Steven Matz, just 4, but he is 2 for 4. One ball, 2 strikes.
Well, that fastball gets on you. You can tell from the swings they've had a lot of foul balls that they were late on.
He struck out 8.
5 strikeouts on curveballs out of the 8.
106 pitches. And Hunter Renfroe will be taking his base. Hit by the pitch. That'll put Red Sox at first and second.
There's that curveball off his toe is what it is. Matt's just trying to get through this inning. This is his last inning if he can make it.
Season high in pitches is 112. Couple men on for Vasquez. Well, big fly here. The Red Sox are right back in it.
And he's hit 2 big flies off of him last year. Same game.
Devers at second. Hunter Renfroe on at first, and a swing and a miss for strike. Vasquez looking for that first hit on the day, hitting .258, 3 home runs. The 0-1 will be up top. 109 and counting. Not unusual for a guy today, to pitch in the 6th inning and have this many pitches. Not that long ago, that was reserved for guys in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. And time granted by the home plate ump Carapazza. One ball, 1 strike, 2 out, 2 on. And Matt's home with a 1-1. Had him out in front, and a fake toss. The runners get back. 1-2.
Vasquez trying to shoot that changeup the other way.
Six to nothing Toronto. On a pretty and sunny day at Fenway. Red Sox have had very few threats against this southpaw. 1-2, and there's a looper into left field. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Here comes the run. Devers in to score, and the Red Sox are at last on the board here in the 6th inning. That'll make it 6-1.
Yeah, back-to-back changeup. Vasquez gets on the second one. Didn't crush this ball. Soft liner to the left. First run of the game off Mats, and they go get the hook right now. Changeup. Down middle. Look at him go get that. End of the bat. Lifts it over the shortstop's head. Base hit. RBI. Hernandez boxes it a little bit, but it didn't have anything to do with scoring that run. So they've got a threat here.
So Castro will be brought in. That's it for Mats on the day. 6-1 Toronto in the 6th inning. More coming up. Right-hander Castro in with 2 down and 2 men aboard. Red Sox finally get on the scoreboard on the RBI single by Christian Vasquez to chase Mats out of the game.
Oh, vicious slider there. First pitch. He throws hard too. 96. Having a nice year for them.
Arroyo with a pair of Ks today. Looked to hold up, and he did. You really feel like if you're going to have a shot today to come back yet again, you got to get another run in here. With Renfroe at second and Vasquez at first. 1-1 coming.
Back-to-back sliders. Can't be easy to see right now, that backdrop.
Mats, 111 pitches. He is responsible for the 2 men aboard. 8 strikeouts. Looked to hold up again and did once again, and he's run it to 3-1. Another good take by Christian Arroyo.
Yeah, 2 of them at this at bat. I thought he offed at both of them, but he held up.
Dahlbeck Bobby with a triple today.
He did hold it. He held that barrel. 3-1. Big pitch coming.
Crowd coming to life a bit. The 3-1. There's your breaking ball.
Little get me over slider is what that was. Guy throws 96 and all we've seen is sliders.
3-2. Runners can be off to the races here. Renfroe and Vasquez with a full count, 2 down. They go, and he spoiled it. Arroyo on the homestand has been Mr. Clutch. Dramatic home runs. Twice tying games. Wound up Red Sox victories. Anthony Castro with a 3-2 run. His take off again, and the breaking ball is in there. Struck him out with a slider. Red Sox frustrating inning, held to 1 run.
And welcome back, everybody, inside Fenway Park as the Red Sox trail the Blue Jays 6-1 here in the top of the 7th. And as you mentioned, Dave, this is the first major league stint for Brandon Brennan, and he comes in and gets out of a bases loaded jam that last half. We had a chance to talk to him this afternoon and ask him his impressions of being around this team the last few days, and he says this clubhouse is unreal. There's no bad vibes. He said he was fortunate enough to be here. This is a win now team, whereas when he came up with Seattle, that team was all about rebuilding. He says this is what he lives for when asked about getting his opportunity. He says that's why we're doing this job. Alex Cora says they really like his changeup. He also features a sinker. He'll also mix in a slider, he says.
Well, he got out of the jam, as you mentioned, Jemai. Jam that he built with 3 consecutive singles, been a strikeout and a double play ball.
A little branch work for him right from the get-go, his debut.
Here's Bo Bichette, one of the home run guys today. They have 4 of them. His came a solo shot, actually 2-run shot in the 5th inning. And he's also singled. Vlad Guerrero Jr. with a 2-run homer. Semien and Biggio with home runs. High bounding ball, deep short. Gonzalez from behind the bag gets him, 1 away. So Bichette now 2 for 4.
I was just thinking about Brennan coming into this clubhouse. It's kind of intimidating, the way this team's been playing. In the last 2 nights, he's seen this, and in the situation where there's one game out of first place. I mean, it is a little intimidating. I mean, even me, I never got traded that often, but the one time I did, I went to the Cubs in 1984. That was the year that Detroit took off. Remember, 35-5, if you recall. I went from about 15 games out to the Cubs, and they were in first place.
Really good team.
A really good team, and so.
Vlad Guerrero Jr. in this one, a home run. And who else was on that club, that Cubs team?
Well, then Sutcliffe came over after that and made us that much better.
He went 16-1.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good, huh? And Ryan Sandberg had the MVP type season, and we probably should have went to the World Series, but didn't. But that was intimidating for me, and I've been around the big leagues 10 years.
Right. Because that's a lot of talent. Yes. And very high expectations all of a sudden.
And you're walking into that, and they're saying, you better get somebody out, pal.
Right. Help us win this thing.
Yes.
Vladimir with home run number 20 in the 1st inning. He's hitting .338. 52 runs batted in for Guerrero Jr., and that bounces all the way to the backstop. Do you remember the first time you walked into that clubhouse after that trade, what that vibe was like? Because Brennan's talking about a great vibe in the Red Sox clubhouse, and everyone's pulling on the same end of the rope.
I know, it's weird because everybody's got this thing going on, all the everybody's pulling the same rope, and you're like, you're the new guy. It's hard. It really is difficult because everybody needs a spring training to get used to a club. And walking right in, and I've never been to Wrigley Field. I mean, when I walked there, the ivy was just starting to grow. It was the end of May. I mean, it was intimidating.
In tight for a ball. It's a really cool spot, though.
It really is. And the game that I came was a Saturday. I got it in the cab and I went to the clubhouse and met everybody. Sat next to Rhino. He was next to my locker. That day, he had 2 home runs off Bruce Sutter on a national game. It was awesome.
2-2. 1 down, bases empty for Vladimir, and it's high and tight.
It's game of the week, Saturday. Bob Costas was doing the game. I'll never forget.
Probably with Tony Kubek, huh?
I don't know, but I'll just never forget those 2 home runs off Sutter, both hanging split fingers. I mean, he was nasty back then.
He was filthy.
Oh, yeah. Rhino, that was his year.
3-2 now to Guerrero. And just a little bit low for ball 4. So Guerrero Jr. will take his walk, and Hernandez is next.
Doesn't get much closer than that. I got to have this. This ball's down and away. If you hold it right there, kind of picked it up. I think that Vasquez thought it was that's glass. That is glass.
That might be our new term for a strike. It's glass.
That is glass. On the corner, glass.
Hernandez has struck out 2 times. Also been robbed by Devers at third. Swing of the first pitch and a fly into the sunshine, and Hernandez. Kike with the grab. 2 down.
Tonight on an all-new Charlie Moore Outdoors, the Mad Fisherman shows you some great seafood dining options at the Finn's Restaurant and Ipswich Seafood. Plus, Charlie hits the springtime water to catch some smallmouth bass. Don't miss Charlie Moore Outdoors tonight at 8 on Nesson.
Grichuk without a hit after he had 3 last night in the Red Sox win. He struck out twice and grounded to third base today. 6-1 Toronto in the 7th. Runner goes. Here's the throw. He's going to be tested. The tag. Got him. He was already saying safe, safe, and pointing toward his dugout. But Vasquez comes up gunning. Let's see if they take a look here.
I don't want him diving if it's Guerrero. He's on my team. I want this guy to go bridge. I don't want him to get hurt on this dive. Let's see if he's safe or not. Got the oven glove in there, that blue oven glove. Tag is in his face. Looks like he's out.
Well, they are going to take a look.
That's a tough call right there. You can't really tell. Big man hitting the dirt, huh?
Is there enough here to overturn it? Looked like he was out there.
Yeah, I don't know if there's enough, like you said. But you don't want him to get hurt, man. That's a big man going down, trying to get a base. 6-1 game, trying to get a stolen base. You can have it.
A terrific throw by Vasquez. He says out. The umpire said out. Vlad, as he was diving in, was saying safe, safe. And he is out. Cut down by Christian Vasquez. Side retired, middle of the 7th, 6-1 Toronto.
Hey, Red Sox fans, raise a cup of delicious Dunkin' hot or iced coffee to the LGBTQ plus community. Happy Pride Month. New England and Red Sox Nation runs on Dunkin'. Dave?
Thank you very much. My 6-1. Toronto in command. Have been in control of this game for quite a while. They have out hit the Red Sox 9-4. Castro staying on the pitch, fires in a strike to Bobby, who has gone 1 for 2 with a triple in the 5th inning.
This kid looks like he's tough against right-handed hitters. That sweeping breaking ball that he throws Arroyo with.
Bobby's last 2 home runs estimated at 441 feet and 453 feet. And in his career, his home runs have an average exit velocity of 106.6, which is the highest among Red Sox in the StatCast era, which was 2015 on. So when he does hit the baseball, he hits it really hard, as was the case on his triple, which almost got out of the ballpark. To the left side of that yellow line on the monster over the 379 mark, up by the flagpole. He's going to go down hacking here, though, on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. 1 out in the 7th.
Push your Red Sox to the top this summer with the 2021 Google MLB All-Star Ballot. Vote daily at MLB.com/vote and on Google by searching your favorite players to send them to Colorado.
In the thin air of Denver, where the baseball flies.
Never liked that place. Pitched there a couple of times.
Marwin Gonzalez will take a ball. He's gone 0 for 2.
You know, there's humidors everywhere now, though, right? It's not. Remember, that was the only place for it.
Got one at Fenway.
Yeah, we've got one here. But that was the only place there used to be. I mean, that's only they try to control that ball from flying out of there.
Meza loosening up in their bullpen. And it did seem to work. It did seem to have some counter effect, because they had those incredible offensive ball clubs. And of course, Bichette's dad was on them. And you had a lot of legitimate, outstanding hitters, including his father. But the way the ball flew out of that
and you
park,
couldn't make the ball break. It didn't bite.
You couldn't get a break on it.
You couldn't get any break, or the sink. It wouldn't sink. You need substances when you pitch there.
Well, that's your spider tack town, right?
The spider tack town.
They've got shells of it.
Oh yeah,
in the supermarket.
That's so true.
In Denver, whole tub of it. 1-1 pitch. And no, we are not advocating.
No.
In any way, shape, or form. Fouled it.
But I'm interested to see where that goes. I mean, talking about somebody doing something soon with that, whether the umpires come up with it.
Ooh.
Ow. That
Boy.
breaking ball chasing him off his knee.
Marwin appears to be all right. Easy for me to say. Bases empty, 1 down. Red Sox trail 6-1. Yes, so where it goes from here will be fascinating. You expect umpires to begin to enforce the rules on the books as far as substances on baseballs. That's what MLB wants them to do. He committed. He swung and missed for strike 3. Could not contain himself, and they're 2-away.
Yeah, breaking balls give Gonzalez some trouble. They put him away a lot with that.
What I'm most concerned with, and I wonder if you are too, is slowing down the game.
Yeah, I know. How do you hurry up and do that?
Baseball does not need anything that's going to slow it down even more. You know, if you have a great game, like last night was a terrific baseball game, I can't even tell you what the time of game was.
Right, that's true.
You know, 2 nights ago was one of the craziest games I've ever seen at Fenway. Same with you. I have no idea what the time of game was. Okay,
yeah, they're both close to 4 hours, probably.
Didn't really matter in that case. You know, it's when you get pitchers in who refuse to throw the ball, who are going to sit out there for 2 minutes. We had a pitcher a few nights ago who was 2 minutes and 23 seconds between pitches. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it totally is.
But we don't need anything that's going to slow the game down. And if, you know, trying to find substances on baseballs and checking caps and checking gloves, you know, if they don't do it in an if they do it efficiently, fine. I think I'm all for it.
Well, there's got to be something they get to use. It's what is it you get to use beyond the rosin bag? And then I think a lot of people are okay with, you know, just not that new stuff. But how do you distinguish between which is this spider tack and the regular pine tar or whatever?
Ooh, drilled him, and down goes Kike, and the helmet goes flying. And is he okay?
Whoa.
Man, did that get away? That was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Oh.
He is up. Cora is out.
He is stunned right there.
Wow.
That ball was so far inside.
Boy,
I don't know.
Was scary.
This came out of nowhere. This pitch was just absolutely launched.
On the helmet. Goodness gracious.
Wow.
Checking for blood.
Check this out. I mean, this ball was up and in, way behind him. Ooh, right. Luckily, he has that flap in front of his mouth.
The flap helped him big time.
Look at this, the flap. How could you not wear a flap after watching this? I mean, my goodness, right off his jaw it would have been.
And he's staying in the game.
Nowhere to go. I mean, that's where you go backwards. You can't go anywhere.
Wow.
Wow.
Staying in. They're going to make a pitching change. Castro hearing it a little bit from the Fenway faithful. Meza coming in, but Kike staying in the ball game despite that.
I would have said something to Kike before I left this game if I had thrown that ball. I would have motioned something to him like, sorry, man. I definitely would have done that.
2 down here, 6-1 Toronto. Back with more in a moment. Kike Hernandez gets drilled right off the flap. And to your point, I haven't seen any kind of gesture of goodwill from Castro.
That, to me, I would be disturbed, you know, personally, because that's not something that happens every day. And you obviously didn't mean to do that.
Well, no. But I think now that's beside the point. It's like, hey, let him know. Are you okay? Didn't mean to do that. You know, whatever.
Right.
Gesture in some way. He's looking at checking at the shoulder. I mean, he's been.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what to say.
Got knocked down, and after getting hit on the flap.
I don't know what I expect or should expect.
Foul away. I would say the word you're looking for, sportsmanship.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know?
Yeah. Because that affects you as a pitcher hitting somebody. Like the guy that hit Pilar, right? Everybody went to the pitcher because he was disturbed by it, right? Everybody, in fact, even Pilar said, don't worry about it, go on with your career, right?
Yep.
And that's the other way around. The hitter that got hit in the face.
And what we know about Kike, I think he probably would have done the same thing. Like, okay, I know it wasn't intentional. Right. Thank you, whatever. But, man, you're taking someone's life in your hand. It's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Wow.
And maybe there will be something after the game. I don't know.
Who knows? But it's wow.
Hope so. Verdugo with a swing and tap foul. He's gone 0 for 3. 6 runs, 9 hits, an error for Toronto, a run on 4 hits, and an error for Boston.
Well, I don't know how hitters get back in there. You know, I tell you, I didn't have to do that, but that's got to be difficult.
0-2 to Verdugo. And a bounding ball up the middle. That's where they are positioned. The flip on to Bichette to retire the side. 1 man left.
Grinds coffee pouches, the healthy alternative to tobacco and nicotine for players and fans. To get the product the Red Sox and Patriots players use, go to getgrinds.com. That's getgrinds.com. Dave?
Kike Hernandez, pretty tough customer to hang in the way he did after getting drilled by that. 96-mile-an-hour fastball off the flap. I'd be interested to see if he says anything after the game about, you know, sportsmanship or an acknowledgement by Castro or non-acknowledgement. And if it bothers him, that one stroked down the line, foul ball off the bat of Grichuk.
After seeing that, if you don't wear a flap, I mean, you're crazy.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah. And it's a rarely seen phenomenon. Years ago in baseball, in the last few years, it's come into vogue. And not just guys who've gotten hit in the face. Mostly guys who never did, but they don't want to. They don't want to have to take the brunt of that. If it does happen, swing it a high, pop up into left. Verdugo backing up on the track, has room to make the catch. And Grichuk, a quiet day. He's 0 for 4. 1 out in the 8th. Boy, when you're talking about around someone's head, anywhere up there, you're talking about someone's life in your hands.
Yeah, I remember Stanton got hit by Fires, the pitcher for the A's, but he wasn't with the A's at the time. I think he was with Detroit. Hit him in the face.
Right.
And I remember, was it a year later or something? He took Friars deep. And then Friars was mad because he showed him up. I mean.
But he was one of the first guys that started wearing the flap.
That's why I said that. Right,
yes.
Stanton.
I think he started that particular pattern. Roddy Tellez is 1 for 3 with a single. 6-1 Toronto. A lot of activity. Thornton and Dolis side by side in the Toronto bullpen.
Red Sox have beaten Dolis twice this year.
And a 1-0 will miss.
Back-to-back changeups. We've seen those changeups.
Toronto getting 2 right away in the first inning on the home run by Vlad Guerrero Jr. Just might be the toughest out in baseball today. He's certainly one of them. 20 home runs now. And the count 3-0. And they got 4 runs in the 5th inning. That chased Nick Pivetta out of the ball game. Right now, Nick would lose for just the 2nd time in a Red Sox uniform. Gave up 6 runs, 6 hits, 4 home runs.
That's the glaring part. The 4 home runs. 3 breaking balls. 3 home runs they hit in the 5th inning were curveballs.
Green lighted. It's 3-1.
How do you swing at that 3-0?
Tellez, big power. We've seen it so far this season. Only 3 home runs. And Brennan delivers, and he's going to walk him. So they have a base runner here in the 8th inning with 1 away. A look back today in history brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more. 2010 Daniel Nava's major league debut, crushing the first pitch he gets off Joe Blent for a grand slam. Only the 2nd time in major league history someone hit a grand slam on the first pitch he saw. He had good advice from Joe Castiglione, who told him, you're only going to get 1 opportunity to swing at the first pitch in the major leagues, and he did.
What a story he was.
Line drive knocked down by Arroyo, and a throw on to first base. And he's going to be out.
Tellez doesn't even know he already got tagged.
He's been tagged out, and it winds up as a twin killing. Time for our high-strength steel plates brought to you by New England Chevy dealers.
Try to figure this out. They thought they caught that ball in the air. At least Tellez thought he did. And he takes his hand off the bag, so it's a double play. He drops it, picks it up, so the batter is out when he throws it to first, and then Tellez takes his hand off the bag, and that's not real smart, and he's out too. Double play.
Tellez, because he was diving back to the bag on the line drive, never saw that it hadn't been caught.
Right, it's just a weird double play.
And it is in keeping with this homestand.
Yes.
You know?
Every game there's some weird play.
Roll this right in with about 5 other ones. Double play. Bottom of the 8th coming up, 6-1 Toronto. And some defensive changes here for Toronto. The speedy Davis goes into the game, play center field. Grichuk moves over to right field. Biggio will move from right field over to third. And Dolis will be the pitcher when indeed he elects to throw it. Because he moves very slowly out there.
Isn't that the truth?
Red Sox will bring up Martinez, Devers, and Renfroe here in the 8th.
See the 2 losses in his record, both against the Red Sox. Last night took the loss, and the home run by JD cost him an L in Florida.
JD single his last time up. He's gone 1 for 3, hitting .311 with 13 home runs. And 7 of his last 12 hits have gone for extra bases. Trying to get something going here late. Rafael Devers on deck. Steven Matz went 5 2/3. He can pick up the win for Toronto today. And that one's going to be socked but foul into the netting. Every time I see a line drive like that, I am happier and happier for the netting.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do it earlier than they did.
I agree. All around baseball. And Dolis with a 1-1. Up and in.
Fastball, split finger slider.
Brandon Workman up in the Sox bullpen. And a right-hander with a 2-1 offering. Fouled off. Buster Olney at ESPN is reporting that Major League Baseball is putting the final touches on a memo that will detail the sport's rule against foreign substances. With the expectation among some sources, the document will be forwarded to teams sometime in the next few days and presented to coaching staffs and players. And we'll be hoping to crack down on the use of foreign substances like spider tack and homemade super glues. Three balls and 2 strikes.
This guy's got the worst body language I have ever seen. It's like he's not real excited to be in pitching. I mean,
JD 2 for 4, a home run off him. Big one at that, and he's going to walk him. So Martinez taking that slider inside. He's aboard here in the 8th inning in front of Rafael Devers.
For the 15th year, Boston Healthcare for the Homeless will be hosting its annual Sox for Sox event at Fenway Park. Fans attending this weekend are asked to bring packages of new white cotton socks at any of the gates. For more information, visit bhchp.org/Sox for Sox.
On the day, Raffy 1 for 3 with a base hit. He has scored the only Red Sox run. He was chased in the 6th inning after he reached on a fielder's choice by Christian Vasquez, who singled him home. That has been the extent of it for Red Sox scoring so far. Home run cut. And he's upset that he did not hit that one over the wall.
High fastball once again, tailing a little bit, up out of the zone.
Hunter Renfroe on deck. We're in the 8th inning. 5-run lead for Toronto. Red Sox were down 5-1 yesterday and rallied to beat them. And the 0-1. That squibs underneath the catcher. They'll go to the backstop, and that'll advance JD. Martinez up to second. So McGuire could not stop it.
There's that split finger. Goes through the 5-hole off his glove.
Yep, off the plate, off the mitt. And a wild pitch. Martinez with the lead off second. Nobody out. And a 1-1 home. There's a bullet. That's a fair ball. Guerrero couldn't make the play. That would have taken his glove with it. Martinez in to score. Rounding second. Rafael Devers easily into third base. 3 bases for him. And it's 6-2.
And that would have knocked his glove off. You're so right. He got a sinker down. And he went to work on it. He hit and rifles this ball down the right field line. Easily scoring JD for the second run, but luckily it's ball down and in. See ya. Lean ya down the line. Took forever to come out of there. Second triple on the day for the Red Sox. Second hit on the day for Devers. What happened down there? Did it stop? Yeah, it slowed it down and stopped. Bichette picks it up. Triple easy for Devers.
And his 49th RBI. Nobody out, man at third. Last triple August 25th of last season. So here comes Hunter Renfroe. Was not made an out. And the Sox are at it again against the slow working Dolis. They're going to get Romano, Jordan Romano, the right-hander, going in their pen. Renfroe has walked 2 times and been hit on the foot by a pitch. If he can get a hold of one, it's going to get very loud in here. 0-1. Bottom of the 8th, the run home, 6-2. With Devers at third. There's already been 1 wild pitch in the inning. One strike pitch. Fly down the right field line. That'll slice foul. So updated numbers. Dolis against the Red Sox this season. It's only a handful of innings. 7 hits and 5 runs in 3 innings. So the Red Sox have shaken him up.
I don't think he's ever shaken up. Never looks it.
Man, the 0-2 pitch. In there. Got him looking. 96 miles an hour. Made a good pitch on Hunter Renfroe.
Snuck that high fastball in. Caught that. Thought he's just trying to throw it up out of the zone, and he did. He caught that left quadrant on top. Hardest ball he's thrown. 96. Got a piece.
One away. Christian Vasquez, he has reached on an error and stolen a base, flied out and singled in a run. Looking to pick up another RBI right here. 0-1. Six runs, 9 hits for Toronto. 2 runs on 5 hits for Boston. Each side has made 1 error. Sawamura now up along with Brandon Workman in the Red Sox bullpen. Rafael Devers standing at third. 0-1. Now Rafi has been darting down that line, taking some liberties. If the ball does get by, he's going to score. Rally cap in place on a Saturday now evening. He'll take a strike. 1-2.
He'll hesitate sometimes with that fastball. Decent stuff. 96 fastball. Good split finger. We saw a slider earlier.
Red Sox with a run in the inning on the Devers triple to score Martinez. And Dolis from the stretch. A 1-2. That's down low and stopped by McGuire. They'll throw that baseball out.
For 175 years, Hood has been committed to supporting communities throughout New England. That's why we're proud to support the Red Sox Foundation, which has supported organizations that make a difference in the lives of children, families, and veterans by improving their health, education, and recreational opportunities. Thank you to the Red Sox Foundation for harnessing the passion of Red Sox fans to support our communities.
Jumai, if there's anything else you'd like to add, you could add it now.
He could have done 3 promos. We got all the time in the world.
I got all the copy you need right here if Bill Reese wants to take his time.
Yeah, he certainly does that. 1 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. With Dahlbeck on deck. Swinging a liner and a catch made. They're going to throw back to third base. No chance for Devers. He thought it was going through. He is doubled up, and that will retire the side here in the 8th inning. Red Sox baseball on NESN brought to you by PNC Bank, helping to make banking easier. And by the best smiles are candid. Straighten your teeth from home for thousands less than braces. Beautiful day and evening here at Fenway Park. Not so great on the scoreboard. 6-2 Toronto. They've out-hit Boston 9-5. As we bring in the 9th inning, Dave O'Brien alongside a Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley and Jemai Webster. Brandon Workman will be the next pitcher into this one. And about to take on 8-9-1. The story of the day really has been the home run pop of the Toronto Blue Jays. They've hit 4 home runs.
Yeah, the Red Sox coming in and never given up more than 2 home runs in a game, and then you see Pivetta gave up 3 home runs in 1 inning. So snap that sort of lucky stat in a way.
You blamed yourself at the time, but
yeah,
it was bound to happen.
I know. But it just so happened we're talking about it at the time.
Well, I don't remember we talking about it. Do you remember?
That's so true. I'm going to get you, man. You're going to say something before this long.
You know that's true. Biggio will take one in there for a strike. He's one of the home run hitters today, but he's also added a double and a single. So he can hit for the cycle right here. We've had a couple of triples today.
There's where the triples are, right down the right field line. Gets under the boards down there and slows down.
That's the triple spot at Fenway, and the other one, of course, is the triangle if you can get a funny bounce out there.
You got to hit it a long ways to get it out that triangle.
Way. And the 1-1 will miss down low. Powerful connection presented by Xfinity.
It's the ball he hit in the monster seats, a little curve ball out over. That's the first home run in that 5th inning. High curve ball that just caught the seats first row. Good enough.
Experience a powerful, secure Wi-Fi connection for all your devices. Xfinity, can your internet do that? Every hitter talks about it, you know, when it's a time to hit for the cycle, and that last at bat, you come to the 9th inning, probably going to be his last trip. It's in his head.
It seems to me it's almost like triple's harder than a home run. That sounds kind of silly, but I think it is.
I think it's fair. 2-2. Workman not happy with himself on that particular curveball. He's gone to 3-2 on Biggio. He's hitting .224, but now 4 home runs. High fly ball. That one's deep. Racing back Hernandez with room. Kike's got it. Well, he took aim at it. Give him credit. He was hitting it to one of the really good triples parts of the ballpark, but one away. Lexus strikeout hunger. Pitching report entering the game. Red Sox relievers have totaled 269 strikeouts. That equates to $13,450 raised, over 40,000 meals donated to the Greater Boston Food Bank to help strikeout hunger.
That long fly ball by Biggio, you know, it had home run distance on it. If he hit it somewhere else in this ballpark, reminded me of, because Workman's on the mound, he only gave up 1 home run a couple years ago. And I remember who it was. Charlie Blackmon hit a curveball into the center field seats here a couple years ago, and that was his only blemish home run wise. The league hit 120 off of Workman. He dazzled 2 years ago.
Oh, he sure did. And even more extraordinary is you remember it was Charlie Blackmon.
Yes, I do.
Don't know why that's stuck in your head.
I did that game, so that's part of it.
I think a lot of us did that game, but I don't remember Charlie Blackmon hitting a home run up Brandon Workman.
But you never pitch. You don't watch like I do. Somebody goes bridge. I know who went deep, and here we go again.
This is trouble. Yep, it's McGuire down the line, and that ball is gone. Another home run, the 5th of the day for Toronto.
I got to stop talking.
You do. And another blast here by the Blue Jays to lead it 7-2 every time you mention it.
I talk about bridge work and they go to work. Huh? Isn't that something? Wow. It's unbelievable. Cross seam fastball up middle, and he gets to it. He gets to it. This is a guy that's really hasn't played all that much this year. He's had a couple good swings against the Red Sox in this series. Hit a double off the monster last night.
Semien rolling that one foul. He's hit a home run as well. First home run of the season for Reese McGuire.
So much for Charlie Blackmon.
Right. 2 hopper to short. Gonzalez up and over. And on number 2. StatCast is powered by Google Cloud.
Yeah, this ball was murdered. This hanging breaking ball, he hit it to little, almost dead central. Look at it ricochets up there. Almost out of the ballpark right there. Flagpole piece. Like, woo.
He's added a single too. He's 2 for 4. Good day for Bichette, inning 272. 12 home runs. So 7 runs, 10 hits for Toronto, and half of them have gone over the fence. And Workman looking for that 3rd out. Bichette 2 for 6 off him with a home run.
Red Sox almost had to get this out of their system, this home run thing.
Yeah, having not allowed 3 home runs, a starter till today. They were the only team in the majors who could have said that. Socked to center field. Kike drifting back, feeling for the wall. Room to make it. He's got it. Side retired. They add another home run. 7-2 Toronto as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Let's check out the T-Mobile Green Monster Cam and the view back toward the press box from the wall. Red Sox are down 7-2 as we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Now, what's really been a beautiful day at the ballpark. But on the scoreboard, 7 runs, 10 hits, an error for Toronto. For the Red Sox, 2 runs, only 5 hits, and 1 error. Red Sox have never had a lead in this contest. This is Jordan Romano coming out of their bullpen with a very, very unusual windup.
Yes, and he throws hard too. He throws 97 plus, and nice slider. You see the league only hitting $151 off him. Does walk some guys a little bit.
So last of the 9th inning, and Arroyo will lead it off. He's had a tough day, 0 for 3, and he struck out 3 times.
Good way to get loose the way he comes to in the stretch.
Deep knee bend. And it's 1-1. That came in at 97.
Oh, he's got good stuff. He is their closer right now. He's saved 3 out of 4 this year.
Bobby Dahlbeck on deck. And the 1-1 hammer to third. Biggio playing there now, and he's on target. He had moved from right field over to third early in the ball game. 1 away. Speedway will donate $500 to Boston Children's Hospital for every Red Sox homer. All donations raised will stay local to support Boston Children's Hospital. With a man out, Bobby Dahlbeck marching up. He has tripled. 1 for 3 today. He and Rafael Devers each with a triple, but not much else for the Red Sox offensively. They have been the comeback kids. 23 times the Red Sox have come from behind to win games. Up the middle, knocked down by Romano. He's got time. He'll underhand it. 2 fast outs. Hit right at him. During Red Sox first pitch, presented by Rodenhiser Home Services, TC and Wake, highlighting on the Rodenhiser Heat Zone. Tellez and Verdugo both as hot. Check out their numbers today.
Yeah, that ground ball got Romano, I think, on his left hand. I'm not left forearm. Where did he get it here? Fairly sharply hit. I think it got him on his forearm, left forearm, I'm guessing.
Well, let's take a look.
Oh,
no.
A wrist and a leg.
Mm-hmm. So he may need a moment.
Just go to his stretch a couple times. He'll get loose, right? Shake it out.
They want to throw a pitch or two here.
Yeah, he's got to do it to do it. You got to go all the way. No abbreviated stretch.
Danny Santana has come to the on-deck area to hit for Marwin. So Alex Cora going to his bench here in the 9th inning with the score 7-2 Toronto. And Romano will stay in. Game 3 of this 4-game series tomorrow afternoon. A little earlier, 1:10. Martin Perez against Robbie Ray. Couple of lefties to tangle in a 4-game series that will end on Monday night before the Sox hit the road. Danny hitting 116 with 2 home runs. Got those quick. He's looking for another one right there. Tampa Bay has won. They've beaten the Baltimore Orioles 5-4. That's hit down the line. It is fading into the corner and a foul ball. So Santana has to come back on 0-2.
Can't be fouled by much down there.
So if the Red Sox do not have a dramatic rally, they're going to fall 2 games off the pace.
Yeah, just foul. Maybe 6 inches.
2 down, 2 strikes, 9th inning. 0-2. Left it up. That was 99. Trying to end the ball game right there. 7-2 Toronto. Blue Jays hitting 5 home runs on this day. That has been the difference maker. And 1-2. Cut on and missed. That does it. 97 miles an hour to end it. Toronto wins it 7-2. They tie up the series at 1 game apiece. Game 3 coming up tomorrow right here on NESN. TC and Wake after the break.